cold. Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Seth. Can you keep it real? This is Alan the Ninja. How are you guys doing today?
Everything's good, man. Just a little bit of cold and allergies and smog.
Yeah. And as you guys know, Alan's in Guatemala. I'm in Austin, Texas. And we're here talking about sourcing today. We're going to teach you guys everything we can about how to source your products. And we're also going to talk about international opportunities that we're exploring as well. Really quick, because I noticed one of you guys said hello from Los Angeles. I'm going to be in Los Angeles on December 15 and 16. We're doing 2 free little mini workshops for 2 hours. And I will be there. Susan will be there. Josiah will be there. We have a new member on our team, Nilima. She's helped us tons on the back end. She's going to be there. So this is a free conference. It's not anything like the one in Las Vegas. That thing is huge and a ton, but it's sort of like a teaser, 2 hours, straight teaching everything we can about Amazon. So if you're in Los Angeles, one's going to be near LAX, and the other one most likely is going to be in Orange County. We're almost settled on the dates, but it's December 15 to 16. Each day I'll be doing the same exact conference in 2 locations. So I used to live in Los Angeles for 7 years, so I'm very familiar with the city and the culture and everything. So for me, it's kind of like coming back home. So if you are in Southern California, my California friends, I'm going to be there and I want to meet you. And it's free. There's no charge for this. So if you can be there, do it and bring your friends. Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that, Cindy. That's excellent. One of our goals, you guys, is each time we travel to different parts of the US or the world, we're going to start putting on conferences right there where we are. So for example, in January, I'm going to meet David Lopez and his family in person. Me and my wife are going to be there, and we're just going to hang out with them, and we're going to do a conference right there. So right now it's a live YouTube video. We'll see if we make it turn into an in-person conference. But pretty much everywhere we go, we want to create an opportunity to meet you guys and to create this meetup opportunity. So yes, next time I go to China, we're doing one there. So those of you guys in China, we'll do one there. And you can challenge me on my Mandarin. I've been working on it hard. I learned how to say B correctly, and it's really different, but it's cool. Awesome. Yes, Kabir, and I don't just say this because it sounds cool. We will have one in Austin, BJ. It's ridiculous. I'm in Austin. I'm probably like 10 minutes from you right now. We will, absolutely. We will be coming to London. Yes, we will. Spain will happen at some point. Australia will happen probably very soon. Yes, we will come to Europe. Yep, and hopefully Dan Rogers and I can team up and we can both do a conference there. So our goal, you guys, is to plant training centers all over the world. And we want to meet you guys. And we want to create an opportunity where we can do this and meet. I can't tell you guys how cool it was in China to meet some of our warriors. Same thing in New York. I remember those people. I remember their faces. You know, it's so much better meeting someone in person than a little tiny box on your screen. And Alan, let's just start right now. So guys, the opportunities we have to source are incredible. I'm going to have Alan start and share what he's learning about sourcing in Guatemala, which is where he is right now. Because here's our goal, guys. We want to create opportunities so you are not 100% dependent on China. China right now still is the best place to manufacture. But there's a lot of competition. And there's opportunities opening up in India, in Mexico, in Guatemala, and other places in the world. Bangladesh is another one. So we have liaisons. We have a whole team in China now and a team in America to help you source. And they're ready to go. And you guys can see that on the products page. There's only like 2 that we have to tweak a little bit and they're ready. Now we're talking about possibility of doing this in Guatemala as well. Our idea is this: if we can cover both hemispheres, one in the West if you're North and South America, and one in the East if you're on the other side of the world, Asia, Australia, China, Africa, and we can cover both, what happens is you don't have to worry so much about shipping costs and you can get the best price and you can pick, okay, where's the best place to get this produced? Oh, well, the Philippines because it's rubber, because they do that better than China does. But China does the clothing in Guangzhou much better than this place in Guatemala. You see, but Guatemala does leather products perhaps better than Mexico. You see where I'm going, guys? That's our goal. So Alan, go ahead, brother. Tell us what you are learning, what you've learned so far in some of these opportunities.
Right, man. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to get connections and learn about, the kind of products that we can probably source here in Guatemala and start bringing, more business to Guatemala, but also taking advantage of all the handmade products that are being produced here. So we've been going and talking to a lot of different people, trying to make connections with suppliers that can handle the kind of volume that we can eventually have with different products. And we've been learning a lot because I'm from Guatemala, but I haven't lived here for like 24 years. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of learning that I have to do as far as the way they do business here and the way they handle all the different things that need to be done and need to be there in order to have a company creating your products here to put them all the way to put them in the Amazon warehouse. So we kind of have to learn how to do all that process and have people in the different places that we need to in order to accomplish that. The advantage that I'm seeing here is that because we deal with a lot of differentiation products, so we one of the best ways to have a better product is differentiating. There is a big market for different products that can serve the same purpose, but they're so different because there's a lot of different designs and stuff like that we can have that we're trying to see if we can exploit that and have a group of people here that we can come source buy our products and then sell them on Amazon. So there's a lot of exploration that we still have to do, and and that we're very excited to start having having all these connections and making all these connections. So this week I have a meeting to go visit some people that can do a lot of leather kind of products, a lot of shoes, but also other kind of products that we can probably we can analyze, and we can see if we can find different niches within Amazon that we can source products. So there's a lot of things that we're working on and trying to build that whole infrastructure. How do you say that? Infrastructure, yes, to kind of have that whole process done, so we can eventually start doing that 100%. So if you don't mind, I want to show you some samples of different things that we can eventually have. These are just ideas of the kind of products and the kind of quality that we can find. So let me just grab some of these things.
And while he grabs those, you guys keep in mind this is part of differentiation too. So remember,
yes.
The most important thing is not quality, it's value. And there's a difference. Some people, they want something that costs low, like a cell phone case, because it's fashionable and they don't want to spend a lot. Other people, they want something much higher quality. You could drive a tank over, it won't break, because that's what's valuable to them, okay? So when you see these items, think, wait a minute, what is the value to the customer? If the value is that it's handmade, they will pay more for that product because it's handmade and it didn't come out of a huge machine. You see what I mean? Or they'll pay more because, wait a minute, I'm helping people in Guatemala. I'm sending money there. I'm supporting families. And I'm also supporting my family by sourcing from them. See what I mean? So there's so much more into it than just saying, oh, I need the cheapest price. That is not always the right answer. The right answer, everyone's thinking this, lowest price, highest quality, lowest price, highest quality. Here's what you should be thinking. What is viable to the customer? Then how can I get the lowest price? That's how to think about it. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, so for example, we were looking at these are just scarves, very nice, designs and all that. And I was kind of having that struggle, but I talked to you about that because of the differentiation in different prices. But we kind of learned we can probably have two different markets. We can have a high-end market and also a regular, market because there's different qualities on products. And for example, we can find these same designs and good quality handmade products for in one end we can find things like this for $6, and then on the other end we can find the same product but different quality for $29, $30.
Right.
Depending on the quality and also the process that they use to make it, because they have different regions here in Guatemala, and depending on the region they use a different process and different materials and all that. But we're kind of learning all that, and for me it was an obstacle. And then after talking to you, it was like no, we have different opportunities. So it's kind of nice to come up with a problem. I have this problem, and then we turn it around and we find more opportunities instead of obstacles. So we've been looking at different. I don't know if you can see these, but these are just women bags, regular bags. they have really nice designs. And again, we are meeting with people that can produce these for less than $10, and then we have other resources where they do this for $25. And I guess it depends on the seller, what the seller wants to do, if they want to have a story around their product, and we do have different things. But let me just give you an example of this bag. Look at the difference on these two bags. These are the two different ends of the pricing, and you can see this one. It has a lot of detail, and it's a very nice design. This one we got it for $6, and this one we can get it for $25. So you don't really lose quality. It's just a different way of creating the products.
Yeah. It's a different.
We're finding a lot of different things. The other things that we're finding, and I guess Guatemala is very popular for these kind of products, is a lot of jewelry with a lot of details. And for example, this is just a bracelet that we got for $2, and it has a lot. And this is all handmade, and the places where we're finding this, they can make big orders, but they're used to having just enough for the regular retail stores. But after talking to them, they do have the potential to do big orders. And depending on the place and depending on the contacts that we're finding, some of them we're finding where they do have big warehouses. And I'm gonna meet next week with a few people that have big warehouse and all that. But we're also finding a lot of artisans that they do everything from home. They get together with family members and other families to kind of produce their products, and then they just sell it to distributors. So there's a lot of different things that we're learning, and then we're trying to find the best way to have those connections, either with manufacturers or with distributors that can have the product ready for us, and with a lot of good margin. And now we know that we can have a low-end product as far as pricing, and a high-end product depending on the process. So it's very interesting, and we're very excited to be kind of starting the whole process for that.
Yeah, this is one of our dreams, you guys, is to be able to source from different parts in the world, source in a way that makes sense for your customer, source in a way that helps another country, helps people and families, source in a way that is profitable. If you can monetize and be profitable, you can help a lot more people. We're not a charity, but we are about investing in people and helping them get better and grow. And that doesn't just mean people on our team, but impacting the world. This is a huge, huge piece of what we do. When my wife and I first decided to become entrepreneurs, I remember where we were driving over this hill, and we thought, you know what? If we do this, and if we are blessed in this, we are giving back, because it's not like a stamp to make us feel good. This is part of who we are. This is what makes it so meaningful.
Right.
So it's both. It's, yes, we want it to be helping people, but at the same time, it needs to make sense for your business. Otherwise, you're not helping people. It's just, giving away. Like, I'll give you an example. I would rather make $1 million and give 15% of that away than I would have $100,000 and give that away. Think about the difference, because the first way, you're actually going to end up giving a lot more, because you're growing your nest egg. You're growing this machine that keeps making more building. You can help way more people that way. See, that's how to think smart, and at the same time in a way that is meaningful. We have an opportunity also to source in India. Many of you guys currently live in India, and India is known for several things, medicines being one of them, but they are a very strong competitor now to China. China still has the best prices across the board, and I don't think they're going away anytime soon. But I want to differentiate our sourcing options as much as we can. So we have a potential liaison to India who can also put us in contact with Indian suppliers. And Austin, I see your question. To answer it, I don't know if, I doubt anytime soon that these people building these products in Guatemala are going to be in Alibaba, because for the most part, it's families or communities where like 20, 25 families all come together and they build the product. In China, it's different. It's a warehouse with a machine and people helping, but it's not the same concept. They can do much bigger, high quality. Guatemala, you're looking probably at lower quantity, but higher quality, hand-picked, handmade type items. So if that's your customer or that's the niche you're pursuing, there's a huge opportunity. Or you could do a combination. I'm going to get some lower value, not handmade stuff from China at lower price, and then I'm going to get fewer but much more expensive hand-picked items, sell them both on my store, and see where that takes me. So we have an opportunity to do this in India. Now I'm going to talk about China for a minute and America. This was our dream, and it's actually reality now. In fact, I'm just going to share my screen with you guys so you can see what I see. Give me 1 second. Let me know once you can see my screen.
Sure.
Alan.
And while you put your screen up, one of the exciting things that I'm finding out is I was just mentioning that to you, that I just had a coaching call with one of our Just One Dime members, and this person lives here in Guatemala. She's been doing a lot of research for her own products because she want to kind of have the same kind of products sourcing in the U.S. And now I'm meeting with her so we can, she's gonna introduce me to all of her contacts and all of her research, because she wants to also help the community and eventually, help, Guatemala bring more business to here. So I'm very excited because a lot of doors are opening up. We're learning a lot of different things, and we even have people in the community helping. So it's very exciting.
And that brings up such a great point, Alan. Did you guys hear what he just said? He met with someone from Guatemala. Like, think about that, you guys. As for example, when we go back to China, we now have a team of people in China ready to help us, people on our team. So each time we're able to reach out and impact a different community or city or state or province, think about what we can do together to help each other out. Now, I want to say too, thank you guys for your patience on what I'm about to show you. I know you guys have been asking for this for a long time. Just to give you perspective, to build the infrastructure behind to make this possible on an international level is a massive task. I usually don't even work on Sundays. Sunday's a day of rest for me, hanging out and stuff like that. But sometimes, with conviction, I will do it if I need to, because this is also part of my whole mission, what I want to accomplish. So yesterday, Josiah and I locked ourselves in a coffee shop from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. until they kicked us out. And all we did was just hammer away at exactly what you're looking at right now. And I'm not just talking about the product page. I'm talking about the back-end stuff. There are over 60 email templates that have to be written just to make this possible. 60. And each of those is connected to multiple links. So just to kind of give you guys an appreciation of what goes on, here's what it is. We have a warehouse in the US. Just One Dime does. Just One Dime has a warehouse in China. Just One Dime now has a sourcing team in the US and a sourcing team in China. What does that mean? That means we can help you no matter what hemisphere you are in. And that's the whole point of this. And please know, the money that comes into this is very, 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 this is not like some kind of, another way to make money. Extremely low profit margin. This is not about us trying to make money. Our primary money is Amazon. However, we want to make this work so at least it supports itself. So let me just take you guys for a few minutes through exactly what we're doing, and then I'll jump to these questions, and we're going to share more stuff with you guys. So if you go to this page, justonedime.com products, and then hashtag sourcing up here, or you can just go to justonedime.com products and click on sourcing. It'll take you to this page. What does this mean? This means if you have a product, it doesn't matter where it was produced in the world. I mean, depending on where you want it prepared for Amazon, our team will do that at our warehouse in the United States. And I know many of you guys have asked about pricing, because there is an upfront fee because you're getting to do it through Just One Dime, which is built trust, and there's a lot that goes behind that. We will have a link by the end of today right here that gives you a breakdown of the pricing. But I can tell you just bluntly, it's about $1 per product on average. And this means bundling, fixing FNSQ labels, UPC labels, packaging, heat shrink wrapping, all of that stuff can be done now in the US. So if your product is shipping from China, you would ship it to our warehouse. We would check it for any kind of transit damage. We would prepare it for Amazon. You would give us sub-user access to your Seller Central account. We can't go in and see your payments and change anything. You control that access. It just gives us enough to log in, and our team will set up all the preparation for you and ship it to Amazon's warehouse for you. That's what this service is for. Again, it's to save you time and headache so you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Let me take you to the next one. This one is not open yet. It will be very soon. We already have a team ready to go. In fact, when we were there, they have this massive table where they do all the bundling. A team in China who can do the same thing. So if you want your product, instead of shipping it to our warehouse in the US and having it prepared, you can have it shipped to our office in Yiwu, China and prepared and then sent to Amazon from there. The exact same service depending on what works for you. As a general rule of thumb, it's going to be a little bit lower cost for these services in China than US because labor over here is more expensive. But then you have the advantage if you're in the US, and that helps to build more trust. I like it that it's right here. You can choose it for that reason. This here, full sourcing, is just about, it's actually ready. All we need is just the green light from the team, and this is full sourcing service, everything you need for sourcing. This here is huge, guys. We could talk about this one all day long. If you are having hazmat issues, let's say you go to your factory and your factory does not have the material safe to data sheet, the MSDS form. What we do is you give us the contact info of your factory. Our team, they are badass. They will go find your factory. They will call them, our Chinese-speaking team, and they will say, look, I understand you don't want to deal with MSDS, and that's more of an American thing. I get that. I just want you to send me your raw materials. Tell me what you're putting in the product. They send them a list, no problem. Then they go and they find out what chemicals are in the raw materials, because raw materials and chemicals are not exactly the same thing. They actually need to know the chemical composition in order to fill it out correctly. Once they fill that out, they create the sheet for you and they send it to you in order to get the MSDS form. Then you apply that to Amazon's application, and then Amazon can review that. And it takes them an eternity, but eventually, if it's done correctly, Amazon will approve it. That's just one example of the kind of certification our team will do for you. We will also inspect your product for you. So for example, if you just had a huge batch of clothing created in Guangzhou and it is ready to go and you want to know for sure before you pay the remaining 70%, I want to know for sure it is done correctly. All you have to do for this is tell our team, you order it here, it is a one-time flat cost. It is not expensive. They will go to the factory. They will look at either 30% or 100%. It's up to you of all the products, and they will inspect it as you instruct and give you a 15 to 20 page inspection report. There's actually, when you click on this button here, it'll take you to a sheet. I'll show it to you right now. Check this out. You guys can see here the price. You also get a 20% discount if you're just one-time member. And we actually, right here, this gives you a whole inspection report example of the level of inspection you receive. The other thing we do is we can now do the retail packaging. And I'm not talking about the artwork. I'm talking about something a lot harder. I'm talking about the design of the physical packaging. If you're on Amazon, you go, man, that packaging is absolutely amazing. We have 3 factories ready to go. 3. And these are not trading companies. These are factories. What they do is you will fill out a survey. You put in examples of the exact kind of retail packaging you want. They will do a mock-up for you, send it back. If you approve it, we print it, we ship it, we take care of all of it, we even bundle it for you if that's something you need. And guys, I don't know if you saw Susan's post a few days ago. You need to read the post. Think outside the box. Don't just think box and polybag, box and polybag. Think outside the box. There's like no limit to what kind of packaging you can have produced. It's unbelievable the different designs you can do. Think about like something that opens like a book or something that opens from bottom up. It's like a flipboard. We also, okay, this is going to sound nerdy, but this is my favorite. If you want a team to take care of this for you, we'll do it. Full shipping, customs, logistics, the whole thing. I don't care if you're doing freight forwarding, air express, or by ship. We will take care of it for you, as well as the customs. You have to give our team power of attorney to sign for you and all that. We take care of everything, setting up the bond, setting up all the fees, make sure it's the correct tariff code, filling out the ISF form for entry. Everything needed to be done. This is taken care of by our team. And they will prepare everything and send it to Amazon's warehouse if you need. Now, I will have to make a caveat to this. If you're in Europe, Africa, Asia, Russia, any of the places on the Eastern Hemisphere, the only way we will send it to Amazon's warehouse if we do Air Express, because it is too much of a pain to try to do that at this point, not Air Express. So we can get it shipped to your location, your warehouse, a certain place. But if you want us to go all the way to sending it in Amazon's warehouse, you have to pick the Express option. If you're sending it to Amazon.com US or Amazon. what is it? Amazon.com.something.mx. I forget at the moment, Alan. Or Amazon.ca for Canada. No problem. We will send it directly in Amazon's warehouse for you. Same thing here, guys. If you're just looking for suppliers and photos of samples, we can do that for you. If you're looking for shipped samples, we'll do that for you. If you're looking to us to negotiate prices, we'll do that for you. And one more is factory inspection. If you want us to go to the factory, take pictures, show you what we saw, look at the workflow, test everything, we can do that as well. And we check for a business license, bank compliance, available consumer reports, all that detail, all those details are included. Now, guys, the whole idea here is to make sourcing as easy and simple as possible. I want to go back to something that one of you guys mentioned. Give me 1 second.
I do have
Let me
a
stop
question.
sharing my screen. Yeah, go ahead.
So let's say, for example, retail packaging, because I know that we're not talking about design or the graphic design, we're talking about the whole package. So let me just give you a example and let me know if that's...
1 sec. Let me just... So look at this, guys. You can see what I've been working on. You guys see this? Okay, this picture is graphic design artwork. I'm not talking about that. You find a graphic designer. Can we at some point do this? Yeah. Can our 3D render team help you with this 3D render photos? Absolutely. But I'm talking about this whole physical shape. I'm talking about the retail packaging, the physical shape. There's no limit to the different kinds of shapes we can create with these 3 factories. And the reason we're doing that is because that is a lot harder to get than artwork. There's tons of people who can do artwork. There are not many people who can do really good retail packaging design. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So my question was, let's say if I have this as my, yeah, you can use that. If you have this as my product, can you guys do a design on the packaging for like a jewelry box or something that is small in size and high-end design where I can just put my product and just ship it as a jewelry box?
And we set this up to make it so much more efficient. Here's how it works, you guys. Check this out. You don't just order it and say, okay, find me something cool. You have to know what you want. So you receive a type form survey you fill out, and you don't contact anyone until you filled it out. We have to have that information. And you send us links to products on Amazon or eBay, wherever you want. Say, look, I want my packaging to look like that. And you upload photos. I want my packaging to look, so you find something you love so we can visually see it. We give that to our designer at the factory. They go and do a mock-up, and they send us back a picture. We send it to you and say, what do you think? And we work with you until we find something you like, and then we print it. And like, oh, wait a minute, you got all these printed. How do I get these into the product? No problem. We'll have those shipped to where your product's produced, and we'll stuff it for you and bundle it. Wait a minute, I don't want the supplier to know about that. No problem. We'll send it to our office, and they'll do that for you, or to our warehouse in the US. The idea is this, guys. We want to make this as easy as possible for you. The reason we spend so much time talking about sourcing is it is hard, it is risky, and is one of the biggest fears people legitimately have. We're trying to make that as easy as possible. This is, right now, Alan, this is one of the biggest, hardest things we've ever done as Just One Dime. It makes like PPC advertising and product research so easy by comparison. It's ridiculous. But this is the idea, guys. We want to make it possible. And the more we can connect with people, the cheaper the price, the faster the service, the more automated it is. Everyone's going to benefit. That is our dream. That is our goal. And that's how we want to make this possible.
Yeah, because sometimes we even skip some products that are good because we know that just the fact of having to think about having a different packaging or that's going to be a lot more work, that we just decide, okay, let's just keep looking for something easier or something more where we don't have to do that kind of hassle. But if we know that we can just have one place where we can just, whatever product we end up choosing as our product, resources in one place, that's everything you want.
Yeah.
So that's very awesome. Yeah. Congratulations, because I know it's a lot of work, and you guys been working a lot on that. But that's awesome for the community.
And team, we work with some of the most incredible people. Like, the people we get to work with are so incredible. Like, the kind of people you want to spend time with and have coffee or tea with, to hang out, to get to know. That's what I'm finding. People from all over the world are popping up. We now can do this, not yet, but soon, the opportunity in India as well. I'm going to answer these questions, and then we're going to go straight to sourcing tactical questions on how to source. So first question is, Cindy says, I can't access the sourcing prep site. Go to justonedime.com, amazon.com/products. And then you'll see sourcing on the left side. Click on that and you should be able to get there, Cindy. Yes, the hazmat issues can be such a pain, Cavalli, absolutely. Will this full sourcing service only be available for China? So the full sourcing currently right now is only available for Chinese suppliers, factors, manufacturers. Correct, the full sourcing right now. Or other countries. We are planning out expanding. Are you thinking of offering sources services for Pakistan? Pakistan, Bangladesh, Guatemala, Mexico, and India are the 5 different countries we have looked at and we are considering seriously. Other than a lower cost, are there additional pros or cons to using FBA prep service in China? No, no other advantages. It's going to be lower cost as a general rule of thumb. You're still working with a just one dime team, and they can prepare and send it into Amazon's FBA for you. Absolutely. Thank you, Kabir. I really appreciate that, brother. I'm outside of US. Do we need to have EIN to import products from China to US? So are you sending your products, so are you selling on Amazon.com dash? Is that what you're doing? Because if you don't have to have an employee identification number, you do have to have some number that identifies you. Some people use their social security as a sole proprietor. The challenge for that, again, is you're giving out your social security, which is very personal. It was stupid. I did it in the past. I shouldn't have. And now we're an S Corp, so we don't have to worry about that. But we manage that for you, Dash. So basically, here's the way it works. When we manage it for you, it's going through our name and our EIN. Does that make sense? The whole idea is to de-risk it as much as possible. Let me share something else with you guys too. When it comes to product certifications, you need to get your product, if there's any possible risk. Dan Rogers and I were just talking about this morning. You need to get your product listed on Amazon as soon as possible. Don't worry about the launch and the BSR and the keyword ranking and all that yet. Just get it listed so you know very soon Amazon will get back to you and say, hey, there's a restriction here. We need a child product certificate, or we need a hazmat, or we need a dangerous good. And let me give you an example. The difference between a dangerous good and a hazmat is just volume. That's it. So for example, if I wish I brought it up here, it'd be a great example. If I have maple syrup, yeah, maple syrup is a hazardous material, but I eat that stuff on my pancakes. It's still hazardous if there's too much of it. If I want to ship a certain volume, I have to list it as a dangerous good for shipping purposes, okay? So hazmat and dangerous goods only apply to shipping and Amazon's warehouse. That's all they have nothing, almost nothing to do with your customer. Most people think, oh, it has to do with my customer. Very little. If Amazon gets too much hazmat, which stands for hazardous materials in their warehouse, they have to call that warehouse a hazmat facility. Therefore, they have to know if there's any kind of liquid or a battery or what's another example? Basically, any liquids or batteries, those kinds of things that can have chemicals in them, they have to know ahead of time so they know the volume. That's the reason you're filling out the form. They're not filling out the form for the customer. You're filling it out for Amazon's warehouse. Dangerous goods simply means it's a potentially hazardous material. When it gets to a certain volume, it goes from DG to hazmat, okay? MSDS, Material Safety Data Sheet, is the sheet you fill out in order to, it's basically just saying, here's what it is. Here's what's in it. That's all it is, okay? Most factories should have MSDSs. If you don't have one, purchase a product certification. We will find one for you 99% of the time. We know how to do it. Our sources will find your freaking factory. You might be working with a trading company and you don't know. We will find the factory for you. We will hunt them down. We have sources. We have mafia agents. I'm joking, not mafia. But we have agents who can do this. They will go and find the factory, get the information, send you a form, you send it to Amazon, and now Amazon can say, oh, okay, so this warehouse in Dallas, okay, got it. They are a hazmat facility because we reach a certain volume of liquid. So if I have a small volume of maple syrup, that's dangerous good. If I have a super high volume, and you have to look at the Department of Transportation handbook to figure this out, and it's thousands of pages, and it's not very fun, so leverage our team to help you. If you purchase a large volume, it becomes a hazardous material. So you know what some people do? They sell batteries on Amazon. I'm talking about car batteries. Some people, oh, that's a high risky product. Yeah, and there's tons of profit and tons of money in it, and that's why they're doing it, because everyone's scared to do it. What you do is if you're, let's just say it's a brake fluid, okay? If you send it in small quantities, like retail package you get at the gas station, it's no longer hazmat. It's a dangerous good. So you have to write dangerous good to ship it, but you don't have to do anything beyond that. If it's hazardous, now you have to fill out an MSDS form in order to state, hey, this is what's in this, and they can label it. Does that make sense, you guys? It's not as much about approval with Amazon as it is about them identifying what's in the warehouse. Let me just give you one more example. I'm a nerd on this stuff, but it's kind of fun to talk about. If you're driving, if you're in a UPS truck and that truck falls over, okay, something terrible happens. It gets in a crash. And in the back is your product, and it's a bunch of brake fluid. And it spills, and it begins to go down the hill towards a river, and this river goes into a lake where people swim. Oh, by the way, it's Austin's Lake, Lady Bird Lake, one of the most beautiful lakes in the world, okay? What will happen as soon as the firefighters get there, you know what they're gonna do? Apart from saving lives, they're gonna go over to the manifold, they're gonna open up the sheet, and they're gonna say, look, is there anything on here that tells me this is hazmat? Okay, oh, look at this, we do, okay, now we have to have hazmat intervention. We have to have a team come in and find out what to do to protect the environment. Hazmat is about shipping. It's not about your customer. Hazmat is about the Amazon's warehouse. Does that make sense, you guys? All of this kind of stuff our team can take care of for you. Our goal is to de-risk you, because I hear so many stories about Amazon sellers. They're sitting there and they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting for approval, and it's a pain in the butt. They've done all the research and they can't sell their product because they need some kind of form. What is a child product certificate anyways? Let me share one more thing, then look at the questions. There's a ton of BS that goes on in product certifications, tons. The SGS, which is the #1 international agency for getting product certifications, SGS. They came out with something called the SGS Safety Mark. Let me see if it's on my battery pack here. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. See all this right here, guys? These are all product certifications. See that CE? That's from Europe. See the ROHS? That's also from the Eastern Hemisphere. Look at this. See the FC? All of these are little different, and they're putting these on here so they don't get sued, okay? What happens a lot of the time is a company comes out with a battery pack, for example. This happens all the time, and it's ridiculous. They come out with a new kind of battery pack, and they say, hey, we are going to make a standard. Anyone selling this has to have certification. They make the certification themselves. They push it politically. They get it approved. The government, which is all about protecting and making sure everything's in line and correct, approves it and requires it. Well, guess what? If I'm that company, I'm selling this, and I'm also the one who has the certification for it. What does that give me? Monopoly on the business. So now other companies now are required to go and submit for that, and they're paying the company who's also selling the same thing. See? There's a lot of BS. So I can guarantee you this is going to sound horrible, but it's the truth. Over half of your product certifications are total trash, but they're still approved, okay? Not being critical, it's just a fact. It's just a stupid little stamp. I have one of the guys in our team. Check this out, you guys. He's sourcing. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, because I don't know if it applies exactly the same way for Amazon, because Amazon has very big warehouses.
Yeah.
But I used to my previous life was a trucking business. I had a trucking business, and we had to go through the whole process for delivering goods, because the warehouses, they need to have special places for hazard materials, dangerous goods, and just regular merchandise. So we as the trucking company or delivering company, we have to know what kind of materials that we're carrying, and they have to we have to fill up different ones and have all those things. So for example, if there's an accident, the paramedics or the firefighters can know what kind of product we're carrying, and even for the delivery companies, they have hazmat materials. They have to have special licenses to carry that kind of products. But ultimately, it's because the warehouses have different rules or different laws where they need to have special places for different products. So I think it's more, like you said, it's more shipping, and it's just because everybody has to for any lawsuits and stuff like that. But it's pretty much the way we have to kind of do it to be able to deliver the product and also to differentiate what kind of product it is for accidents and stuff like that.
Yep. Absolutely. You're 100% right. And there you go. Related directly to transportation, you guys. The advantage is this.
Right.
If it's holding you up from selling, get the certifications needed. Number one, to cover your butt in case someone sues you. Once you make a lot of money, you become a target. Number two, so you can sell it. And keep in mind, Amazon standards are not always the same as the product certification company. You could get a certification, Amazon approve or deny it, okay? That can happen. It's not, and their hazmat standards are not always going to be the same as the Department of Transportation handbook. So just keep an open mind, you guys. The fastest way to know, and Marina, to answer your question, the fastest way to know if you need product certification, list your product on Amazon. So Amazon will tell you if there's a problem or not. You need to at least get it listed. Even if you don't have the product yet, list it, create the listing. Because what's going to happen is at the bottom, you're going to have this option to fill out, oh, is this hazmat materials? Do I need certification? All that kind of stuff. And if you don't and you need it, they will flag it for you. And then all of a sudden, you know, and you could be ahead of the game. When you guys are doing full sourcing, the full sourcing service is almost open. It's not yet. I'm not going to give you time frame, but I definitely within this week. It was almost going to go live last night, but I just need the full green light from our team. You fill out a survey, and in the survey, one of the questions will ask, do you want product certification? If you do, what is the title? Don't go to the sourcing team and say, I think I want it, I'm not sure, maybe. That's not going to work. You need to know that ahead of time. How do you know that ahead of time? By listing your product. And if it's not letting you, okay, now I know. The other way, and it's going to sound crazy, just Google it, find out. Go to Amazon's rules and find out. With the RA and the battery, I've done many toys with batteries, RA, never had an issue. I also, Michael, and I'll check this out, and I think this has to do with volume again. We have a toy that makes us over $20,000 a month profit, just a toy. It has a battery in it. That battery was never a hazmat issue. All of a sudden, one day, it became a hazmat issue. I'm thinking, what happened? Why do they need this now? So we filled it out. It took about 2 weeks. It got approved. We were good to go. What happened? I believe because our volume was going up, they realized, wait a minute, we keep sourcing this stuff from this guy. Our facility now might become a hazmat facility. We need to know. We have to know what's going into it. So if the volume, you can be selling and it gets to a certain volume, and all of a sudden they require that, okay? The lesson to learn in this, guys, is there is absolutely no predictable way to do this other than get your listing and start selling. It's like you have to sell in order to figure out. If you're the kind of person you have to have everything laid out perfectly before you start, you're going to be frustrated because that is not the way it is on Amazon. And a lot of communication on Amazon is frustrating, as you know. Therefore, what do? We take ownership and figure out a way to make it happen. Marina, so in that plan, it needs to happen at the beginning. Let them know as soon as you can. Once a company, before the company's chosen, as soon as possible. Find out what you need for that product. Now, keep in mind, Marina, if it's a product that has liquids or could potentially be hazardous materials, find out, ask the sourcing team, will the factory provide MSDS? Some of them call it SDS, safety data sheets or material safety data sheets. If they don't, let us know, because there's a possibility you just need to find someone who can go and get the information from you, and our sourcing team can do that as well. Once we find 4 suppliers sending samples, the other is 4 finds negotiate prices. Can we combine both? I know I've had many people ask this question, Amanda, about combining those. Find 4 suppliers. We should, and I'll talk to Josiah about it. That's a really good question. Can you help with ungating and beauty topicals? Number one best way to get ungated for beauty topicals is sell something in a different category first. Lords and handmaiden, start with that. Once you have a whole bunch of sales, then build off of that and go into the next product. That's the number one thing. You're unlikely to get ungated for anything unless you have a bunch of sales. Just for fun, the other day, Saad and I, we just went and let's just apply for stuff I'll never sell. But because we have so many sales on Amazon, I just went and applied for approval for a whole bunch of high-end clothing as if I was a retail arbitrager. My wife does most of that. I do very little. That's her thing. So I just did it for fun. And I got approved. I thought, where's this coming from? It's because of the history of sales. So the first thing you need to do is do that. Second, they're going to ask you for invoices. Lords and maiden. There we go. Lords and maiden. They're going to ask you for invoices. You can use Invoice Generator. We have a whole video on this. It's in the start section. Shows you how to create the invoices. You can be your own sourcing company if you want. And you have a Google Voice phone number as a separate phone number. So you are the seller and you are the manufacturer. 99 times out of 100, when someone says, here's the manufacturer, that's an office, but they didn't actually have a factory that built it. It's considered legit in the business world. and you create those invoices, you send them in. Or if you want, literally go buy some from a supplier in the US, get those invoices and send those in as well. You have to work the system. There's no other way to do it. If you send them an invoice directly from China, chances are nothing's gonna happen. They call the phone number and they're speaking in Mandarin, they don't understand it, you're not gonna get anywhere. What wording do you suggest using Google to find out if you need a product certification? Type in the name of the product, Jan, and type in certification. Also, we have a spreadsheet that is part of the sourcing, and I sent it out, and I can send it again if you guys want. It gives you the #1 most popular certifications. For example, if you need FDA approval for a topical, it might take you 6 months to get approved. But if you simply need FDA review of a product, much faster, much easier. Okay, can you please let me know the exact address for Los Angeles workshop? I will as soon as I have it, Susan. Susan Segarra and her team are looking at hotels where we're gonna have it. So as soon as we have it, we'll just send out the link. It'll be a page. Absolutely, Susan. Let me go back. Shelby, I joined not too long ago. I watched your videos, could see that you're truly happy, looking for the same. Thank you for teaching here. Absolutely, Shelby. I think I am a happy person. I love what I do. How do we email if you have more questions regarding job products? Send them to josiah@justonedime.com. Yes, Peter and Angel are part of the China sourcing team. It's not Peter and Angel, it's the sourcing team. We have 5 people. They just hired another person. We have 5 people in the office now. And we have a separate liaison between us and China to help us out. Can I start an LLC even if I'm not living in the US? It depends on what country you are in. So some countries don't have an LLC. It's called something different. All United Kingdomers, can you remind me what it's called? It's limited something something. It's close, but it's not the same. How long does a factory inspection take from request? It's on the tip of my tongue. Let me think for a minute. A week from the time they get all the factory information from you, give them a week and it's done. But they have to have the factory information. So you need to have their email, their phone number, and hopefully their WeChat. Everyone should be on WeChat. It is so easy. Okay, guys, you know what? You want to know how WeChatted I am? I now communicate with my wife, Alan, on WeChat, not messages anymore. We use WeChat now. I like it better than messages. It was so much more effective in China. I became addicted to it. Now I just use it all the time. Can I use the FDA Prep Center from online? What's that?
And my wife is calling me from the first floor to the second floor through WhatsApp now.
I love it. You saw me use WeChat all the time. Another question. Kabir says, can I use the FBA Prep Center for my online arbitrage business? Absolutely, brother, you can. Yes, you can, absolutely. What is the biggest trading show in India? I don't know.
One of my questions, man.
What's that?
That was one of my questions. If the Prep Center can be used for retail and online arbitrage.
Absolutely, yep. What is the biggest trading show in India? I have no idea. Do you know, Alan? The biggest trading show in India? So Wes Green says, what is the biggest trading show in India?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Mitra says, is there an MOQ? Are you referring, Mitra, to the FBA prep service? Because there's not. Yeah, whatever amount you need, we'll do it. Now, if it's like 50 products, our team's probably gonna come out and say, look, we're not doing 50 products for $1 product to make it worth their time. Yeah, so they will work with you. They're very custom. It's not like, but at the same time, you gotta be reasonable. Is there a potential market for high-end stuff on Amazon, new niche product? Yes, there's a lot, Radha. It's a huge question, brother. Are you in the find section? Because it tells you all about it. Is the Job Prep Center in a state? Yes, Amanda, it has to be in a state. What do you mean? It's in the US.
Is it in a city?
Oh, okay. He wants to know where it is. This is her best. She's like, I want to find out where that place is. Yes, it is east. How about this? It is east of me, and it's in Central Time Zone. Does that answer your question? 10,000 square foot warehouse. Let's see. I use WeChat with all my suppliers too. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Cindy, a great way to learn how to communicate with Chinese is emojis, like their stickers and everything. Those are Chinese style, and they use them a lot more, at least than here in America. So my teacher who's teaching me Chinese says you need to learn to use emojis more, and I'm not an emoji person. So if you guys start seeing them more often, well, that's Seth trying to learn Chinese. Kostas says, thank you. I meant to sell on Amazon.com, have LLC in the US, not my own country. So easiest way to do that, Kostas, If your country does not have Amazon in it at all, then opening a business in the US, yes, absolutely. I would get an LLC, yes. Greece, by the way, okay, very cool. Tax-free state. No, it is not. Your chat is jumping, no problem. Is it in tax-free? Yeah, I got you. Okay, yeah, it's not. Yeah, cool. Okay, guys, how can we help you? We got 7 minutes. What questions do you have about sourcing? How can Alan and I help you? Anything. Does Pro Bundle include the sourcing help or what you shared as separate purchase? So if you got the Amazon Growth Pro Bundle, yes, it does. You get the 4 suppliers. It's in that welcome email. Everyone, if you're not sure what you have, go back to your welcome email. It has everything you need. And if you're still not sure, nice, Kyle. He sent like 40 emojis, Alan. Like, I just see a lot of questions on here.
Conversation with you through emojis.
Yeah, guys, if you have questions about the program, what it includes, here, I'll give you the email right here. Always, and don't post it on Facebook or we delete it because it's not what we're about. Just one, that's not the purpose. JustOneDime.com. There you go. Josiah at JustOneDime.com. Any questions about the program, go to that. Any questions about coaching, how to sell, go to me and the coaches. Okay, guys, how can we help you? We got a few minutes left. Tell us what we can do to help you source. We should chat his emoji. His emoji? I think your text is jumping today, Amanda. I don't understand you. What do you mean we should chat is emoji? Cindy says, I have a couple of shipments ready to be sent and I would love to send to Just One Life Prep. Absolutely. So Cindy, what you need to do is get the Western Hemisphere service. If you go to JustOneDime.com/products, we will take care of it for you. Also, by the way, guys, every time one of these happen, when we're done, you get a survey and we ask you 2 questions. What did we do well? What did we not do well? Tell us how to get better. We want to listen to your feedback. That's why we stopped the sourcing. We need you to go back. We got way more than we expected and make sure we're doing a good job. So tell us what we're doing well. Tell us what we can improve so we can respond. You sent your question up above. Okay. Let me see. I'm looking, Cindy. Oh, where in the sourcing part of Just One Dime site can I sign up for having my product shipped to the Just One Dime warehouse? What you need to do is, let me check here. I'm going to give you the actual link, Cindy. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go to sourcing and I'll chat the link right here. It is the very top one. If you want it prepared for shipping, for going to Amazon's warehouse, you get that one, okay? If you actually want us to take care of all the shipping for you, okay, there's no link for it. You just have to scroll down, go to full shipping and customs logistics. So if you're trying to get it from one place to Amazon's warehouse, the whole thing, then get the full shipping and customs, yeah. But if you just need us to prep it, you're gonna take care of shipping to our warehouse and we prep it, that's different. Does that make sense, you guys? If I have an idea on the product and I want it to be designed professionally, can it be done? So when you say to design, Mitra, are you talking about the physical design of the product? Because yes, you absolutely can. If you're talking about the graphic design for artwork, we don't provide that yet. But yes, absolutely. Any other questions, guys? How can we help you? Any tips on negotiating with new suppliers? Yes, be their friend. Number one, I've been meeting with people who live in China who are on our team and telling them, teach me everything you can. And I hear this from everyone who works in China. You need to develop a friendship. When you develop a friendship, less likely is the supplier to cheat you or to sell your idea to someone else. Less likely are they to hold back secrets because they're very secretive. A lot of things they don't want you to know. They will tell you more and more. And I'm very blessed because the liaison whom I hired, who's helping me, is teaching me everything about Chinese culture that most suppliers will not tell you. That's one of the huge advantages. And I can share these with you guys, but develop a friendship. Number two, always ask for lower price one time at least. Do not compare their price to a competitor's price and show it to them. You'll probably offend them. I used to do that. I have learned since then. Don't do it. Even in EU, when I was recommending this, like, no, wait, this is not the way to do it. So always negotiate. If you negotiate, they expect that. Don't overdo it. Don't become pushy about it. Always ask for a lower price, but don't push it. Does that make sense? And remember, don't negotiate too hard on the first price. You want to save money on the big orders. Would it be better to ship to China warehouse instead since it's closer to the manufacturer? Yes, the cost is going to be less, absolutely. Well, let me go back. If you're selling on Amazon.com, it technically is not going to make, it'll probably make no difference because you still have to ship it from China to the US. That's the big cost. getting it from the US to Amazon's warehouse is still going to have to happen, right? I mean, that part is very cheap. Those prices are not high at all because Amazon has really good deals with preferred vendors like UPS and FedEx where you can get discounted prices. And the nice thing, guys, is they will log into your account for you. You have limited access. They don't see everything, just what you want. And they can do that for you. They can do the labels, the FNSKU, heat shrink wrap, all that stuff. If you have a bunch of serving spoons in one box and coffee mugs in another box, they'll put them together. They'll put on the packaging. All of that is taken care of. Are you sending the new links today? For the workshop, the roadshow? I don't know, Susan. I'm waiting for, as soon as Susan nails down a date, we'll know, and a location. Should be prepped in US versus China so no one copies. So Dan Rogers and I have talked a lot about this, and we have sort of played around with this idea, and it's really, I would love to hear your thoughts, Alan. Anyone can copy it. More and more people in China are selling on Amazon, so they're still going to find it eventually anyways. Is it that big of a deal? It depends on your product. If your product is super new and innovative, I would have our team bundle it so they don't see it. But if it's something that's just like a tweak off of another product that's already pretty common, I wouldn't take the time to do it. I wouldn't spend the money if I were you. But, what do you think, Alan? Do you have any thoughts on that as far as bundling your item, at our warehouse so the supplier doesn't know about it versus so they don't start selling it on Alibaba versus, not keeping it a secret?
No, I think Amazon, they don't really do they don't do a lot of the things that we do, differentiation and all that. So I think I've seen the products that we're selling. I've seen other people with exact same product, but they're not having the sales that we're having. Is not there. The marketing is not there. So I don't worry about that too much anymore. Yeah. But I used to get be very worried that products. I don't want to I want the less people to see my end product, the better. But at the end of the day, a lot has to do with the marketing and learning here. So that will eventually somebody might get very close to where it's going to be a very real competition. But I think that's part of the business, and you're building a business with a line of products and things like that. So it's not going to affect that much if somebody gets very close to your product.
Yeah, I agree. And at some point they're going to find it anyways. But that time, hopefully, you're so far ahead that they can't compete with you because you already have the majority market share, especially if it's a newer product. Cha-Cha, that's very cool. You're a graphic designer. That is awesome. Cindy says, new suppliers love friendliness, tones, and it's true. I'm telling you, if you are good relationally, you can do really well with Chinese suppliers. Don't get so business-minded, like, do this, do this. I'll tell you guys a story about this person, this agent who worked in China, and one of the sellers from another country was upset because the factory didn't deliver on time. So this seller, Amazon seller, is blaming her, but she works for the trading company. She's not the factory. And he pretty much said, you go out of the room. Like, he was there physically in the Chinese office, like super rude. And I was like, what in the world? Do you think that trading company is going to work with that guy in the future? Just because he's frustrated, don't ever take it out on someone if it's not their fault. And even if it is their fault, work with them. You build a relationship of trust. I promise you, it will reward you so many times. There are factories I can ask, can you do this? No problem. I can totally trust them. I can wire them the money before, 100% all of it. Don't have to worry about PayPal. Don't have to worry about trade insurance because the relationship is there and I bring them good business and they know that. Next question, Mitra says, the product is not available. Oh, so you want to make it from scratch, build a mechanical design. You need to find a designer and don't do it through a sourcing team. We are not prepared for that. I understand now. So you want to design a new product. All those technical drawings, you need them written up by a professional, prepared, and then if you send them in, our team will go to find a factory to build it for you. But you have to find a professional designer. We don't do product design. Now I understand what you're saying, Mitra. Thank you for clarifying that. Miklim says, Seth, I'm assuming if you use the China-based prep service, the service for preparing only and not preparation of shipment, plan, and Seller Central. No, it actually is, Mick. It is for selling, for sending it through Seller Central. Absolutely 100%. However, that product, that service is not open yet, as you can see, but it will be soon. Keep in mind, though, Mick, if you're selling in the UK, we will only send it in express. We will not send it in freight or by ship. Well, obviously ship doesn't work because the Amazon's warehouse is not by the ocean, but we will only do it by air express. If it's not, I'm sorry, if it's not Canada, US, Mexico, over here on the Western Hemisphere, because there's too many hassles at this point. That may change in the future. But yes, we absolutely can send that in for you directly. Dash says, should we talk to the supplier as agent or individual business owner? I know there's a lot of discussion on this. At the end of the day, I don't think it gives, no one cares. I don't think anyone cares. Like it sounds kind of cool. Hey, I'm an agent for a big business, but I've tested it. I've tried it. We've gone back and forth. What they want to know is, can they work with you? Will you help them? Will you be a friend with them? That's the #1 priority. They discovered this when they were revamping San Diego Zoo back in the 1980s. And the negotiator came in and said, you know what you need to do? You want to work with China? You need to be a friend with them. You need to build a relationship. They actually have their own special Mandarin word to describe this, a word that doesn't even exist in English. So I wouldn't worry about that. Great question, Dash. How to send to the prep center the merchandise if you have multiple SKUs and few units of each? Should they be in separate boxes? I don't recommend it. I mean, sorry. Yes, I do recommend they be in separate boxes. I don't recommend putting multiple ones in one box. I wouldn't do it. I've done it before, and they've screwed up my shipment. So if I were you, and here's a question, Elisa Gonzalez. Why are you sending few? By few, do you mean like 5 or 10, or do you mean like 50 or 80? If I were you, when I do it, I would only put in the kind of product. Like if you're selling a bunch of these, all of these go in one box. And if you're selling a bunch of these, all these go in another box. Keep it simple, because there's still real humans on the other side who are going to take these out of those boxes. It's not all machine. And some of those people make mistakes. That would be my recommendation based on experience. For new job program, go ahead, Alan, go for it.
No, I was going to say, unless she's talking about trying to figure out for retail arbitrage, since there's an option for that.
Right. Yes. And I'm thinking 100% private label. So yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're here, brother. Thank you. For new Just One Dime programs, yeah, Susan, it's justoneDime.com/products. JustoneDime.com/products. If they don't negotiate on price, should we keep looking for another supplier? Not necessarily, Shelby. It depends. Sometimes they're not negotiating because that's the lowest they can go. I would still compare to other suppliers, find out. And keep in mind, some suppliers will do this. They'll give you a really low price on the unit, but then they'll charge you more in shipping. And now that they feel like they have you locked in, then you get the shipping and go, oh, this is kind of expensive. Well, they just made up for that drop. So it's good also to get shipping prices. This is why when I contact them, I often say, hey, just give me an average idea of shipping. If I do 200 pounds of this many kilograms or whatever, how much is that going to cost? And when they give that to me, I can quickly know, is this something I should go with or not? And you could, easiest way is compare it to other suppliers. But there are times where they haven't gone down, but I like the supplier so much I went with them. And sometimes I do as a test, Shelby. You might do it your first shipment with them, then come back and say, and while you're selling those, you're talking to other suppliers and end up going with a different supplier the next time. You see what I mean? It's more of a process. It's not like you find the one supplier and you're set for life. At some point, yeah, you get to know a few who you love and you work well with them. You know what's weird though? Sometimes you work with someone, you really like them, then they all of a sudden they message you from a different email and you go, Bob, you know, what's going on? Oh, I work for a different company now. We want your business over here. And I'm going, okay. Do I really want to do this? This happens a lot, so be aware of that, guys.
One of the things that I learned, Seth, and I don't know if you do that now or if you do it different. The manufacturers to give me a quote for like 300 units with including shipping and everything. Come up with you know, sometimes the different shipping amounts. You know, like if it's 200 units, we'll charge you this much. If it's 500 units, so now I don't ask for that anymore. I ask them how much they charge for shipping per kilogram.
Right.
You know, $5.50 per kilogram or $7 per kilogram, and then you can compare with other companies, and you can find out exactly if it's a real, you know, an average number, or if they're overcharging because their cost of the item is a little bit lower.
Yep. And guys, our shipping, it's not our shipping company, the shipping company that works with us in China and the one that works with us in the US, we have both. They will work with you and they will give you good prices. And if they don't, you can come back to me and tell me. But I guarantee you they will. They will not cut you out. They understand this is business for them. They're not going to do that. They will give you good prices. So I encourage you, if you're looking for a shipper, go get the shipping custom service. Take all the pain out of it and the risk. Let our team do that for you. That's where they're there. Doris says, for new product ideas not currently selling on Amazon? Would the patent filing protect me from enough from being copied? So this is a great question. I'm going to do a whole video on this in the future, but I'll give you a very short version of what I want to share. There are two kinds of patents, as you guys know. There's design and utility. Design is how it looks, it's shaped, and utility is its function. Utility patent is much easier to protect yourself than a design patent. People can battle that more. There's a technique you can use. You might consider it shady, you might not, but it works. You can file for a patent even if they're not going to accept it and extend the patent out. You have to spend money to do it, and as long as it's patent pending, most people won't touch it. But remember, Doris, a patent itself doesn't protect you from anything ultimately. It's like a stop sign. The stop sign doesn't make my car stop. It's simply a warning, and if I break the law, there's a potential that a cop will give me a ticket. In the same way, if someone does sell your product that has a patent on it, they can still physically sell it until someone comes in and stops them. And that can be Amazon, and that can be the law. It could be a courtroom. Amazon has this habit. It's definitely different than the American justice system, where you are guilty until proven innocent. So someone decides, hey, this happened to me the other day. Someone sent me a message. Amazon sent me a message. Oh, by the way, you're selling our trademark. Oh, really? So I went and I talked to my trademark lawyer, and they looked it up. And the person claiming the trademark on our product is being battled by someone else who had the trademark years before, who doesn't ever touch Amazon. It's really convoluted. So immediately, boom, what do? They close my listing, and they don't let me sell until I prove myself. Okay, that's how Amazon works. So if you're the one with the patent or the patent pending, it definitely gives you the upper hand. Absolutely, Doris. Hope that's helpful. But just make sure it's patentable. You need to talk to a patent lawyer, and it is the most expensive way of protecting your product. Because trade secrets is the cheapest, then copyright, then trademarks, then patents. I highly recommend a patent on your design before you source so they can't steal your idea. Well, Cindy, any supplier can, and often many will, steal it unless you go to wipo.net and protect it using Chinese government, which is going to be a big hassle, but it's better. There's no protection from another supplier not supplying your idea. The only protection you have is on Amazon where you're selling it, and specifically I'm referring to the US. I hope that's helpful, Cindy. How can I find the professional designer? Do you have any links? So to do it, you need to order the service. So yes, if you go to Amazon, justoneDime.com/products, hashtag sourcing, and you can go there and have us design it for you if you want. But we don't do external links. Yeah. And I'm talking about designing the product. I'm not talking the product packaging. Sorry, I'm not talking about the artwork. Mitra. Does the full sourcing really cover everything from finding suppliers all the way to landing at Amazon? Yes, it really, really does. Seth, touching on shipping, I live in London. Can you ship to my house, not express? Yes, we can. I don't need them to go to Amazon. Absolutely no problem, Kabir. Yes, amen, and absolutely. As long as you don't, there's a place to put the boxes. Yes, we can do that. No problem. Guangxi is the term you're thinking of. Thank you, Mick. You're exactly right. And did I say it well? Guangxi. Tell me, Mick, how's my accent? As I know you're from Singapore, right? You speak Mandarin. I'm just struck while I'm working. I'm stuck. Sorry, go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
I say we just don't know what it means in English because we don't have a word in English.
Together, yes. I'm just stuck while I'm working with 2 mechanical designers. None of them have a market experience. Yeah. Mitra, I feel your frustration. You have to keep hunting. Post it on the Facebook group. Don't worry, you're not competing with the services. We don't offer this. Ask someone for a resource. That's fine. But guys, if you post competitors to our products, we're going to remove the competitor. Just like I don't post your product on other pages and say, hey, by the way, guys, you should sell this, right? Don't do that to us. It is wholesale, but I have some products that sell 10 to 12 units per month. Okay. In using Jot, is it possible to have some of our product also mailed to our personal home? Split shipments? Absolutely, yes. To keep in hand? Absolutely. And it explains that on the shipping one. Get the shipping one. We will split the shipment if you need, no problem. Mitra Solani, if your design is going to have a high hit seller, you might want to get a patent before you have the mechanical designer. Very good point, Cindy. Very good point. That is what happened to the true creator of the fidget spinner. She made it for her autistic son, didn't patent it. Boom. Same thing with bulletproof coffee. Have you guys ever had it? Man, that guy should have trademarked and patented whatever he could have done. The name, sorry, you can't patent food. He should have trademarked the name, but he didn't, and he didn't make millions of dollars he could have made otherwise. Now it's all over the place. Okay, cool, awesome. All right, guys. Hey, terrible, but good try. Thanks, Mick. Send me a WeChat of audio saying it correctly, please. Thank you for the challenge. I'm gonna keep learning. Alan, any last words you want to share with these warriors before we go?
Well, man, we're very excited of starting this whole process and this whole exploration here. So we're gonna keep you posted. Really, makes sense to expand and do something here, but we're taking the time to check all the resources and make all these connections that we need to. So we're excited, and we'll just keep you posted, and hopefully we'll have something very soon, so we can have more.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. And everyone, have an awesome day. Keep going. Keep sourcing. Let us know how we can help, and we will talk to you very soon. We have some other cool stuff to share with you very soon. See you guys. Bye.
Good, guys.